My father should have died long before he did. Why would I say that? At age 20, he was diagnosed with diabetes. By the time he was 40, he had his first heart attack. He went on to have 12 additional documented heart attacks. He had 5 blood vessels in his heart replaced, and he lost both of his legs to complications of diabetes. How, at a time when the average lifespan of an African American male in the United States was 72 years, did he live to be 86 years old? Well, first of all, he went to his doctors regularly, and he listened to their recommendations. But he also had a secret weapon. That secret weapon was my mother. My mother was a registered nurse, and she made sure he followed his doctor's recommendations. In addition, she provided him with meals that were low in salt, low in sugar, and low in fat, yet still absolutely delicious. I ate those same meals, so I know. In essence, my mother was practicing functional medicine before functional medicine even had a name. There are several diseases which affect us worldwide. They include high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, and obesity. While these diseases are more common in Western countries, they are spreading throughout the world, especially as we're becoming more reliant on convenience foods. Each one of these diseases has its own path, downward path towards a decline in health, some faster than others. Each one of these diseases has its own problems when it inflicts burdens on the individual, the patient, as well as their family, their community, and even their country. So, what can we do to improve health? It's time to start looking at medicine and health through fresh eyes. As that, when I think of optimal health, I want to go back to the very beginning of life. Imagine an oak tree seed, an acorn. When that acorn is planted into the ground, it has the potential to become a magnificent tree that may live 300 or more years. That seed, that acorn, does everything it can to gather all that it needs to reach its potential. It needs the sun, it needs water, and it needs the proper nutrients from the soil. If it is missing any one of these components, or even lacking in them, it does not have the possibility to reach its potential. We humans are similar to that acorn. Each one of us needs certain things in order to reach our potential, our full health potential. We need our environment to be rich, and that environment is not just what's around us, but also what is within us. Think of our GI tract, the area from our mouth to our lower intestines, as being our soil. We absorb the nutrients that we receive through food, and that allows us to grow. Now, if we don't receive the nutrients we need, there's no way for us to receive or reach our full potential either. Functional medicine is the future of medicine. It looks towards the past as well as the future. It's often considered root cause medicine. And as root cause medicine, it evaluates our soil. Our soil is what helps us to reach our potential. Let's take an example of something that's harmful for us. Now, we often hear about different foods that are bad, but we don't find out why. Most people don't understand why they're bad for us. Take sugar, for example. Sugar comes from sugarcane. It's a natural plant, so it must be good for us, right? Wrong. Sugar can wreak havoc on the body. Sugar causes inflammation. It leads to, or it assists in diseases such as diabetes, such as high blood pressure, such as fatty liver disease. All of these have problems in and of themselves. When I mentioned inflammation and sugar, inflammation in our bodies increased by sugar can also increase other proteins and that inflammation cascade continues. Inflammation within the intestines, in our gut, causes the lining of our intestines to become more permeable. In other words, toxins can leak through. These toxins can then cause bacteria to grow. And as that bacteria grows, it can be harmful to other parts of the body, including the brain and the heart. It can also lead to endocrine or hormone-related diseases. Now, in addition to that, those toxins, once they're in our system, can become very harmful. The dangers of sugar are beyond measure. Yet we all continue to poison ourselves daily with something that is not essential to our diets at all. Another factor is when we don't have enough of a certain nutrient. For example, magnesium. Now, magnesium is low in 90% of human beings worldwide, 90%. In poorly controlled diabetics, 25% have very low magnesium stores. Now, what is magnesium used for? Why is it important? Well, it works with cellular function. It works with nerve conduction. It works with both the heart and the brain. And if it's lacking, it can have some serious consequences. Among those consequences are such things as tremors, fatigue, muscle spasms, seizures, and even irregular heart rhythms. Who knew? For some simple element that we hear about all the time. And that magnesium is absorbed through the food and goes on to enrich our lives in so many different ways. Without these vital nutrients, we do not have the potential of reaching our true optimal health. In addition, when we look at how these little changes, such as decreasing the amount of sugar in our diet and increasing the magnesium in people who are magnesium deficient, it can have a tremendous change on our lives. Imagine if you use something like functional medicine, which uses individualized testing and then makes corrections on our diet. How much more lively we would be, what our true potential is. All this is part of functional medicine. Now, medical schools are slowly starting to bring functional medicine into part of their curriculum. This is going to take time. So I urge each one of you to find a functional medicine practitioner in your area to help guide you towards optimal health. But if that's not available to you, start from the beginning. Look at your diet. Examine what you're eating. Eliminate that sugar, any added sugar. Get plenty of rest. Drink water. And eliminate processed foods as much as possible. When I'm talking about processed foods, I'm talking about things like prepackaged meat, sugary breakfast cereals, talking about canned fruits or vegetables, and microwave meals. As I said, a lot of this comes with convenience. We want to eliminate some of that. Go back to the basics. As we look forward to learning more about functional medicine, we want to combine conventional medicine with functional medicine to truly enhance our lives. Imagine how much fuller my father's life would have been if we knew then what we know now. Thank you.